Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Loyum Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham, Rukam Kadash, blessings in the name of the Father, Yahweh, and His Son, Yahweh Shai, the Deliverer, Hamashiach, of the Holy One of Israel. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the Akim and the four ones preaching truth and sincerity, risking their lives more now than ever. Salutations to the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel and have come back to the fold. Shalom. To the sister Aqua for listening in silence. Shalom. This is your brother Aram Yahawada with the lesson. And this nuclear war that's about to come. And I'm just basically pointing out, that they've been showing you signs for quite some time. And these things have been popping up more and more about, World War III. So, I'm just showing how, I don't know, this thing's been popping up on my timeline. This one's a year ago, how, an atomic or an hydrogen bomb work in 10 minutes, right? Oh, see, this is Esau being revealed, because those didn't look like so-called Negroes. Showing you how, see, there's a Negro. Right? But those women that they had in that with their heads in that board look like Native women. Right? So, but that's just Esau being revealed. See, right there. Those are like Native women. Right there. World War III begins on October 28th. Right? These are things that's popping up. I'm seeing this. But people are walking around like oblivious to everything. With China coming soon between Taiwan, right? So we're getting close to that hour, right? $1 trillion 200 billion plan to kill 99% of what? Of humanity. Right? What happens when a nuclear bomb hits? This all This all that keeps popping up, and it's not like I've been like looking for this stuff. This thing just been popping up on my on my page. You know what I mean? That was 3 years ago. That one was 9 years ago. 3 years ago. 4 years ago. But just the point. Why would they? What's the point of doing so many videos 9 months ago? Right? So that's within the year. So they continually make these videos. So that's the spirit. right? 11 months. How to survive a nuclear apocalypse. You don't. That's how you survive. It's not going to happen. The Lord said none shall escape. Right? I mean, you got 11 months ago, you got 2 years ago, you got a year ago. I mean, before and after nuclear war. I mean, this is what happens if a nuclear missile is launched. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, 6 months ago. And you could say, oh, yeah, they always do those things. You know, that's not no big deal. But what you don't understand is that's the spirit of the Lord. He's putting that in these Edomites' mind. Right? Right? To continue to you know, put that spirit out there, you know, on a light scale. They're basically prophesying, because this is according to the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? The nukes hitting is according to the scriptures. So they lightweight prophesying. You know what I mean? You know? Yeah, you have radioactive dust. Yeah. That's the thing that's coming, man. So even if somehow you did survive, you have the radioactive dust that will basically kill you. You won't be able to drink the water. You won't be able to do anything, if there's even any water, after Esau get done. Because right here we have another one. See, this is only a day ago, and people is not smelling, not with the rock, what Yahweh is cooking. Yahweh is brewing up this World War III, right? This is Navy freaked. Now they freaking out, man. They know they don't really have what it takes to go against Yahweh first and foremost, Bashem Yahweh Shai, and the mighty ones, which are the angels. But they don't have what it takes to go against Russia. Russia almost built a nuclear aircraft carrier. So that's bad news for what? America. But you Americans, right, are going to and fro with not a care in the world. Yeah, I even try to, explain this thing to my son. But, he's caught up in the BS of the world. And, saying, how can you get instructions from a book? But that's how all these people are thinking. You have to get the instructions from a book, because it was at one time written within us, which the Lord is going to do that again. Hebrews 8:8, Jeremiah 31:31, right? But it's not in us. It's not written in us at this moment, right? Yeah, so I don't know how people are not seeing this. This was even a couple of days ago. China tests a fractional orbital bombardment system that uses a hydrosonic glide vehicle. So people are not seeing this, but it's not a big deal. But as you can see, the energy, right? And all this energy is coming from Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai for the elect's sake, you know? Yeah, so this is Psalms 137, 7. Remember, O Yahweh, the children of Edom, right? Right, which self-proclaimed so-called white man, in the day of Jerusalem, which you so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, you Israelite foreigners who phenotype may look like another nation, but your bloodline goes back to what? Jerusalem or Jacob, Yaquab, right? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who say, race it, even unto the foundations thereof, right? Because they wanted us to be destroyed, right? O daughter of Babylon, which is synonymous with the Edomites, which who's ruling the world at the end? Edom, right? Unless you know that. Second Esdras, right? Esau's the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So these Edomites is ruling. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee, as thus has served us. Right? So when it's time, you're going to go into slavery and you're going to serve us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones, right? Because you took our little ones and dashed them against a stone because you had no mercy upon the ancient nor our young. Call Loyum Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Bashem Rakah Quadash. Right? America's going down. Right? Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who were well. Salutations to the Akim and the four winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking their lives more now than ever. The hopeful elect, the elect, Shalom, to the Israelite who phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel, have come back to the fold. Shalom to the sister, Akwaf listening in silence. Shalom, death to America. Yeah, this is Isaiah chapter 47, verse 1. Come sit in the dust. Right, in this the collapse of this kingdom, O virgin daughter, right, of Babylon. So we're not talking about ancient Babylon. This is talking about the daughter of Babylon, which is America, right? Well, NATO, EU is part of that, but the main one that took on more of the Babylonian customs is America. So it's talking about America, right? Though they're joint in the system because America's like a providence of Britain, but America's the face of Britain, of the beast. You know what I mean? So sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, because they deal with witchcraft. The Chaldeans were basically into enchantments and, basically warlocks. They were into worshiping Satan, and so is America. You got the way they built Washington D.C. that makes the pentagram. There was another video that it's a park and it's made into the pentagram where they were given the JAB at in a city. So they deal with demonic energy, just like the ancient Chaldeans. these current Chaldeans, which is Babylon the Great, America, Esau, Edom, right? For thus shall no more be called tender and delicate, because all the so-called attacks on America were actually self-inflicted. They were not from foreign sources. They were all inside jobs, crisis actors, and even though real people died, these were strategic plans in order to go to war with Japan, right? Which dealing with Pearl Harbor, right? And 9/11 is strategic to go to war in the Middle East, get the gold, uranium, oil, right? Those type of things. Strategic to go to war against Hitler for Project Paperclip, right? To get those scientists so they can have the space race, which initially where Esau started to fall, right? Take the millstone, right? When they start falling, take the millstone, grind the mill, right? Because you're coming to the time where you're gonna have to. They're talking about people hoarding food. You're coming to the time that you're gonna have to hoard food because there ain't gonna be mill. Take that millstone and grind as much as you can, and have as much food as you possibly can, right? Grind meal, right? Talking about your food, because normally when you grind meal, it's for making bread, right? Bread is synonymous with making your food or money, right? Uncover the locks, make bare the leg, right? Because America is starting to be exposed for who they really are, and then they're doing it too through this so-called pandemic. They're exposing that they are the devil that the Bible speaks of. Even their own people are like, dang, these and they so much the devil that even the devil is calling them the devil. Uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers, right? Because they're making their so-called their ships get stuck at the ports, right? Because that's normally how you make that money, that bread, make your money, right? They saying that this is what's jamming up, sending the food into the stores, right? But this is because the Lord is saying this is your last hurrah. But they think it's a good idea for them to self-inflict this too, right? That's self-inflicted, right? Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, and a lot of people are starting to see that this is self-inflicted. That's no accident. All of a sudden, there's not enough truck drivers and so on forth, so forth, right? Yea, thy shame shall be seen, and a lot of people see it, right? Even other Edomites see it. I will take vengeance, right? And ultimately, you're doing this, but as you're doing this, you're doing it at the same time the Lord is taking vengeance on you. So there's not going to be any way you're going to be able to bounce back. That's why if they would have healed Babylon, you would have been healed, but you're doing it at the wrong time. What was it? The Irish guy said you rushed it. You rushed it, right? I gotta look for that video again. Yeah, because he said, "Hey there, Rockefeller, you rushed it." You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna work, and that's what it is, man. It's not gonna work because people see, right? There's gonna be the uproars of the people, and the whole initial thing is to be order out of chaos. But what happens when the people who's causing the chaos to create order, even their situation is going to become chaotic, and they're not even going to know what to do. And that's ultimately the visitation of Yahweh. Even the elite that's controlling this, they're not going to know what to do. It's going to be a day like none other. So they've never seen this. The Lord said He's taking the wisdom out of Teman. So what do you think is going to happen to you in the day when the Lord visits you? And I will not meet thee as a man. When the Lord not coming here to meet you as a man. This is not on some man carnal level where you can go, oh, okay, let me manipulate this situation. Let's say this and let's lie and let's say this and let's do this. Let's bring in the military here. This is, hey, it's going to completely spiral out of Esau's control. As for our Redeemer, because that's who's coming. Ultimately, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is letting Satan lie to you to make you believe somehow you're going to be triumphant. And the Lord's going to allow you to get to the point where your enterprise is almost basically in fruition. It's going to be basically there. It's going to be in full bloom, basically. Because a lot of these people, you're going to get, they're going to get the charagma. A lot of these people are going to get the JAB, because how you put applying pressure. But the elect 7,000 should not bow to Baal, man. And ultimately, our Redeemer, Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai of hosts, is His name, the Holy One of Israel, right? Which is Yahushai, the Holy One of Israel, is Yahushai. So, like Yahweh of hosts is His name, the Holy One of Israel, which is Yahushai. Set thus silent and get thee into darkness, right? Because you're gonna be the new niggas. You're gonna be in darkness. You're gonna be void of understanding. You know, you're gonna be void of light, and you're gonna be America is no longer gonna exist. O daughter of the Chaldeans, right? Your witchcraft is not gonna work. For thus shall no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. And what's been the top kingdom for quite some time? It's been America, Lady Liberty. Everybody wanted to come to America. But now everybody's starting to see America. It's not that shiny gold thing that they thought it was. It was like a, when you're fishing and you put that little, they put that little metal thing on the fishing, so the fish think that it's something shiny, and they think it's something they could eat. Or when you put the fake worm on it. Matter of fact, they got to the point you don't even put real worms on the hook no more. It's like a rubber worm, or you get these rubber what they call insects. So you you know what I'm saying? So and that's how far Esau's gone to faking everybody out. At one time you had real gold and real silver, and then you changed it to put it FRNs, or at least the money backed up the silver, and then you took the silver from backing up the money, and now you're just putting it to what everything is just, it's so fake. It's leaving you exposed. A lot of countries is moving away from the dollar, right? So it says, sit thus silent, get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thus shall no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms, right? Because no one's using the dollar anymore. And I was wroth with my people, right? Which you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, and really ultimately dealing with the elect. But the Lord was wroth with the elect. But the Lord is gonna purge the elect and make them clean. And I have polluted my inheritance and given them into thy hand, right? And we were here for slavery, right? Gad got their land taken. Issachar got their land taken, got put into slavery. The so-called Negroes was in slavery here, right? This was America was meant to be a punishment. You know what I'm saying it only tells you was it as a Micah, right? This is not your rest. It was a Malachi. Always get them, but this is not your rest. Period. America's not your rest. And Gad, because this was their land initially, this is our, and they don't know nothing else. No, all the tribes. This is a place you could be wicked and just and lazy, and they don't want to leave it. But the Lord is causing calamities to come, so you don't have a choice. What's his name? That devil, T.D. Jakes. He did a sermon, which kind of made sense, about how an eagle makes a nest, and he puts the nest is sat where it's nice and soft for the chicklings to be there, but once they started growing, the mama eagle flips the thing so the sharp parts are into where the nest at, basically to force them out. And that's what's going to happen with you Israelites. You know, you're either going to be forced to get into this truth, or you're going to die in America. But a lot of you are stubborn and pig-headed. You know, like the elders say, you're like a frog in water when you're boiling it slow. You don't. Hey, what is it saying? What is it? Boys in the Hood? No, not Boys in the Hood, but yeah, I think it was Boys in the Hood. Yeah, Boys in the Hood. Trey's daddy. Oh, you gonna learn, and that's basically what it is. The Lord's gonna make sure you learn. You're gonna learn. You know what I mean? But Salakia, my inheritance is given thee into thy hand, and thus did show them no mercy, right, through slavery upon the ancient, has thus very heavily laid thy yoke. Yeah, this is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 6. Shall not all these take up a parable, right? Because through the blessing of Isaac unto Esau, saying that he would have the fatness of the land by the sword, and that's what you have done, the Edomites, Esau, Edom, around the world, right? Especially America, right? They use you as the front guy, but the front guy is going to take the blunt of the blow, right? You know, because normally, you know, you get into a confrontation with a person, you know, the first person in front of you is the one to get punched in the face. You're the front guy, you're going to get punched in the face. You're the face of the Edomite supremacy, technically, right? So, but the whole world's going to take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe unto him that increaseth that which is not his, right? Because you took Australia, you had Hong Kong for a while, right? Because Hong Kong was a providence of Great Britain. You know, you had Jamaica, that's a providence of Great Britain. You know what I mean? Which is America's a providence of Great Britain. Canada, all these, you know, these places like this, it's really a providence of Great Britain. So really, by the way of Great Britain is where you have ruled the world. But America, so far through NATO, EU, they put America as the front face. So America is the one that's going to go down. You're the lady, a so-called lady of kingdoms. You're the you're the daughter of Babylon, right? Because most of the enchantments come through from here, through Hollywood, through all of making of the movies, through most of those what you call news places are from what America. Even the other foreign news, they fashion their news the way the American news companies are, right? So that those are the things that you're gonna have to be facing. Um, Say, woe, yeah, unto him that increaseth that which is not his. How long, right? And it's not much longer now because we could see it. And to him that layeth unto himself thick clay. And this is how we know that this is you, right? This is how we know, because in your whole system, like your housing system, especially when going back into 2008, right? Almost the whole system crashed because you had it all entangled with the housing market, right? Habatyat, which is debt, heavy debt, wage of a pledge. And pledge, when you go back in Deuteronomy, you have to do some studying. Go back in Deuteronomy, a pledge is basically like a loan. But a loan puts you in debt. And all Esau deal with is this credit-based system, which is nothing but debt. Yeah, this is Joel chapter 3, verse 9. Proclaim ye this amongst the Gentiles. So if Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is the destroyer of Gentiles, how can all nations be saved? Right? And the Lord is telling you that. Prepare ye this amongst the Gentiles. Prepare war. That don't sound like salvation. Wake up the mighty men, right? Your militaries. And that's all the militaries from around the world, right? China, Japan, Russia, Germany, Spain, France. Wake up all your military. Australia, right? Because you never really even heard of Australia like that. But all of a sudden, Australia's in the news with their military, right? You know what I mean? Let all the men of war draw not near. Let them come up, right? Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I'm strong, right? Because all these other nations are no longer afraid of America. And through all this debt and the housing market crashing, and then next is going to be what? The stock market crashing, and these nations and these people, the workers, right? Mostly really us, Jakes, around the world are going to be angry, right? Right? And then the wicked is going to go after you, right? Which actually really goes into workers, right? The ones you held money back by fraud, right? But these other nations are saying what? Let the weak say I'm strong. Why? Because what? You spent 20 years in a war with with Afghanistan or the Taliban or whatever, only for the Taliban to take over. So you spent 20 years and they literally took over the entire city, the entire thing in what, a day, 2 days, a week or so, tops. You know what I mean? Yeah, so this is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 33. For Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the power of Israel, the daughter of Babylon, which is America, is like a threshing floor, right? And the threshing floor is when you're separating your harvest from the, when you're separating the grains, and it's like a thing, and you throw it up and like a net, but the things that you need is going to stay on top, and the wind blows away the dust, the stuff that's not needed. So only what you need is there. It is time to thresh her, right? So it's time to basically destroy it, destroy America, because it's that time for harvest. That's why it says, take your plowshares and your pruning, take your plowshares and turn them into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears, man, because it's time for that harvest. Yet a little while, and the time of her harvest, right? It's that time for harvest shall come. It's time for the elect to be delivered and America to be destroyed. Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 9. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon. Watch all those other nations, right? That you have came against, that you have conquered them and took their land, and you've done this and you've done that. All these different things you've done. You've made war, you've killed, you made it hell on earth, right? And then you're constantly making it hell on earth, right? Because basically you're not done yet making it hell on earth. It's really going to be hell on earth real soon, with no food, no water, unless you take the JAB. Wow. You know what I mean? Unless you get the Charagma. So yeah, you're not done yet, devil. I know you're not done yet making this place hell, but there's going to be a time that the harvest is ready, and the Lord's going to raise up against you, have all these nations rise up against you, against Babylon, and assemble a great nation and great nations, plural, Slakia, see, plural, nations from the north country, right? And you got all these great nations that's north countries. And the main north country is Russia, with a great military, right? And they shall set themselves array against her, which is America. From thence she shall be taken, right? You grab the quilt, and you throw it, and you thrust it up. It's be taken. It's not nothing you handle lightly. When you thrust it, you thrusting it so it can bounce the stuff that don't need. So when the wind it blows the stuff that you don't need, and it settles the things that's needed to make your grain, your meal, your food, things to survive. That's why the Lord said, grind your meal, do your thing, do what it takes, because it's that time. It's that time, and that's why it's the big grab right now. If you think about it, all these elites this is a big money grab with this scandemic. It's a big money grab. So that's what they're doing. They're taking their harvest. They're making the money. Hey, think about it. And they have done that. They've took the plowshares and turned them into swords. Right? Because they've a lot of that thing, instead of saying, oh, you know what? The food is not in, they could have took that money that all them bombs they dropped, all them guns and bullets and stuff, and a lot of times they just leave them guns there. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, it is what it is. Yeah. Yeah, and they shall set themselves in array against her from thence. She shall be taken, that their arrows shall be as mighty expert men, right? Because they got these guided missiles. They got this technology that the missiles got GPS on it or whatever. They're going to be experts, and they're not going to miss. None shall return in vain, right? Because it's going to hit its target. And Chaldea shall be a spoil, right? Taken, robbed. All that spoiled her shall be satisfied, saith Yahweh, right? Because you spoiled many nations, and now it's time for you to be taken, for you to be spoiled. Right? Because ye were glad, because ye rejoiced, O ye destroyers, right? Because this is what America has been doing, the Edomites just in general, of my heritage, right? Which is the Israelites, right? So-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, the Israelite foreigners around the world, the ones that phenotype may look like another nation, and the Israelite foreigners who look like Israel but don't know that they're Israel. You know, you destroy the Lord heritage because ye are grown fat as a heifer, right? Hey, that's the international bankers is basically what it's talking about. The elite at grass and bellow as bulls, right? And that's what they've been doing. Bullying the whole world, eating up everything, billions and trillions of dollars, and hey, they heavily laid their yoke with no mercy. Yeah, this is Isaiah chapter 47, verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, right? And that's for the whole system. It's not just going to be America, the system, your NATO, EU, and America, but America is going to be the one that's going to get wiped completely out. O virgin daughter of Babylon, because that's why it's specifically talking to America on this, because it's the virgin daughter. It's the one that's going to be destroyed completely, set on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, right? Because what America follows those customs of witchcraft and paganism in America on so many levels. You know, the Babylonian calendar, Christmas, all these things that's totally opposite of the Most High, you know, same-sex marriage, all those things. For thus shall no more be called tender and delicate, right? You never, you know, it's that place that people don't think can ever go down, right? Take the millstone, grind the mill, right? Because this is the situation where we're at right now. Because even this is self-inflicted. This is self-inflicted because what? Pearl Harbor was self-inflicted. 9/11 was self-inflicted, and even this so-called current shortage, food shortage, gas shortage. This is self-inflicted, right? To push the agenda of the New World Order, right? Order out of chaos, right? So that's what they're doing. But what it is take the millstone, grind the mill, whatever little bit of food you have left, right? Uncover the locks, right? Which your locks goes into what your hair, right? A woman is supposed to have her head covered, right? But America is gonna be shameless They're just gonna come out outright and let you starve. If you don't get the JAB, you're gonna starve, right? So they're just gonna let the locks down. Be shameless about it. Make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. The rivers goes into, those cargoes have to come from China and all these different places to get to America, because America is a consuming nation. It's a consumer nation, right? And that's dealing with Babylon when you go into Revelations 18, right? Oh, and 17 too, right? But mostly 18. 18 shows you that it's this place where, goods and things are exchanged. That they had all these, so